Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Force Feed for this Tuesday, January 31st. Today we'll be discussing the Syndicate co-op demo, Steam mobile app now available, Dragon's Dogma gets pushed back, a trailer for the upcoming Hybrid, the Xbox won't be released in 2012, and a look at WoW Addiction. The Syndicate co-op demo is now available on the 360 and will be coming to the PSN later today. The demo consists of the Western Europe co-op mission. While downloading the demo, be sure to take a look at the recently released trailer which covers the contents available in the demo. Now, Syndicate will be coming to stores on February 21st, so if you play the demo and you like what you see, that's when you can pick up the game. The Steam mobile app, which was announced last week, has now left the closed beta and is available for the entire public. Now, as a quick little refresher, in the app, you're going to have access to chatting with your friends on Steam, as well as the ability to take a look at and purchase games on the go. So if you were interested in the Steam mobile app but weren't able to have access to it last week while it was in closed beta, you can now take a look. The release date for Dragon's Dogma has been pushed back. It is now expected to be out in North America on the 22nd and in Europe on the 25th. Dragon's Dogma is an open-world RPG that is being developed by the team behind Devil May Cry. Now, a new trailer has been released that goes over some of the game's story, and although honestly what I've seen so far doesn't interest me that much, it is worth noting that buying the game will grant you an access code for the demo to Resident Evil 6. Purchasing the game on the Xbox will allow you to play the demo 60 days before anyone else on July 3rd. If you happen to get the game for PlayStation, you will have access to the Resident Evil 6 demo on September 4th in North America and September 5th in Europe. So although what I've seen of Dragon's Dogma doesn't interest me so far, I'm going to hold off making any judgments on the game until we get closer to release, have a better idea of what to expect from gameplay, and just get a better look at some of the gameplay footage. Of course, it is being made by the guys who produced the Devil May Cry series, and Devil May Cry was an amazing game, so I will give them the benefit of the doubt there. We'll just have to wait a little bit more until we get more information. And then, of course, the fact that you're going to have access to the Resident Evil 6 demo may be enough of a reason for some people to purchase the game. How about you guys? Fifth Cell released a trailer today for their upcoming third-person shooter Hybrid. Hybrid is a mix of action and real-time strategy. The trailer shows off some of the gameplay, combat, and features. Now, Hybrid is going to be an Xbox Live Arcade exclusive and is planned to launch this summer. For an Xbox Live Arcade game, it's looking pretty good, and it might be something that's worth checking out. It does look like the next Xbox will not be released in 2012. In an interview with Le Point, Microsoft France marketing director Cedric Delmas said the Xbox 360 cycle is not over at all. The proof is that we haven't price cut this year. What will happen at E3, it's still too early to say. What's certain is that there will be nothing new in 2012. So although he is saying that there won't be a new Xbox this year, he isn't ruling out the possibility of an announcement specifically at E3. We'll have to wait until the event to find out. Based on this information, even if we do get an announcement of the next Xbox this year, I expect Microsoft will be holding off the release of the console until a little bit closer to when the next PlayStation comes out. And then lastly, I want to make mention to you guys of a video that was posted on YouTube a few weeks ago and was recently featured in an article on Game Informer. The video by Anthony Rosner, titled IRL in Real Life, shares his story of WoW Addiction and how it played a major role in what he did and didn't do for a total of 6 years. He goes on to discuss how he was finally able to move on from his WoW addiction and what he learned from it. Now, although I will never blame a video game for someone being addicted to it, and it doesn't seem that he's doing this in the video here, I think he's more just kind of sharing his story to people who are interested in listening, I wanted to direct you guys to it simply because it's something that actually kind of hits home for me. I can safely say that I spent way too much time in the World of Warcraft at some point in my life, and it was for a few years at that. It's something that I definitely devoted too much time to. It's something that I spent too much attention on. I used to be in this raiding guild on my server that used to just be hardcore, completely hardcore, raiding 5 to 7 hours a day, 5 to 6 days a week. And, you know, as a result, I ended up kind of putting off real-life obligations. And that's not the greatest thing. And again, it's not to blame a video game. It's certainly the individual's responsibility to take care of what they need to take care of and to make sure that they're being a real, responsible human being. But the fact that he shared this story about how he was so involved and engulfed in World of Warcraft, again, it's something that kind of hit home to me. I wanted to share it with you guys. What do you guys think about video game addiction? Again, I'm not taking the responsibility away from the individual. I think ultimately it is a person's fault if they spend too much time on anything, a video game, any sort of hobby. People spend too much time watching TV or playing poker online or anything like that. But I just wanted to know what you guys think, and again, I wanted to share this video with you. And then lastly, we will be moving on to the question of the day. If you have a question that you would like answered on the Force Feed, you can send it to the Force Feed at forcestrategygaming.com. Today's question comes from James, and he asks, how long do you actually make video content for, and how long do you spend on average editing and special effects, etc.? Well, although this is not specifically game related, I wanted to answer James' question because I thought it'd be something that's interesting to share with you guys, just my general day. I usually get up around 8 or 9 and start work pretty much right away after breakfast, and I usually am working up until 6, 7, or 8 o'clock at night, depending on the day. I would say the average is about from 8 to 9 a.m. to about 7 p.m., and sometimes I try to get done a little earlier at 6, sometimes I get pushed a little later till 8, sometimes even 9 o'clock. But in terms of the general process, it's actually not the recording of content that takes too long. I mean, you look at like a StarCraft 2 commentary, it's usually about 20 to 30 minutes. It's the rendering process that takes quite a long time, even with a good computer. And then something like this, specifically the Force Feed, is actually very time consuming. The whole process probably takes about between 2 to 3 hours. I start off looking up information, which is about a half an hour to 45 minutes, just finding what went on during the day, what's relevant to talk to you guys about. And then recording usually takes about 15 to 20 minutes. And then after that, it's the editing that's really time consuming, getting all the footage of the various games, getting all various thumbnails and pictures that are relevant, and then putting that all together in something that looks good and flows. And then after all that editing, you have to render, and that takes about 20 to 30 minutes. And then you take that render file that's compressed and upload it on YouTube, and that takes another 10 to 15 minutes. It's a pretty time-consuming process, but I love it, and I'm doing it because I enjoy it, and thanks to you guys, I can do it full-time. And that's going to do it, guys, for this episode of the Force Feed. As always, I thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned tomorrow for another episode, keeping you up to date on all the most recent gaming news and announcements. Once again, this has been Force, and you've just been force-fed.